This is one of my earlier videos, and I'm going to re-show it for a couple of reasons. One is I only had like 1,000 subscribers back then, so a lot of y'all might not have seen this. And to remind y'all the mindset of a lot of public servants, including at least one in the administration building here. Now, I don't even know if she still works at, here, but we still see a lot of the same attitude in videos coming out now, recently, a day ago, a week ago, and then there are going to be more next week and the week after. Let's go straight to the video, and I'll give you a little update at the end. Schertz Administration Building 2, I believe they call it. Really can't tell from this, but much nicer than the old building. Excuse me. I think they said Sherry, but I'm not sure. I might have got the name mixed up. I want to check and see what the policy is for videoing open meetings.
To go to open meetings?
If to go to open meetings and video.
Let me transfer it.
All right.
I'll call the city secretary. There's a gentleman in the audience that you should speak to regarding videotaping open meetings. The city secretary is coming right out.
Okay. That guy was giving me some funny looks.
Good morning.
Good morning. I wanted to check with y'all on your policy for videoing in open meetings.
What,
Can I just walk in and video without having to check in with anybody? Or
Well, if you're talking about a council meeting and stuff like that, we already have that on video, and I can provide that to you. I can provide you a YouTube link, or, it's on it's always posted on our city website.
Okay, well, but if I wanted to come in and sit and with my own camera and video, that would be okay. I'm asking because you'd be surprised at how many places want you to ID and want you to let them know and get permission.
I don't know. Do you have a card? I need to research that, because you're the first that's ever asked. Because we have our own equipment.
Well, in most places I find that if they're putting it over the internet, they're okay with it. But sometimes the policy doesn't catch up to the technology.
I just don't think we have a policy, and
Okay.
I don't know how to answer that.
Well, I will just call in a few days and
Well, do you have a card or
I don't like
contact
to identify
information?
myself. That's part of the thing about doing open meetings. A lot of them want you to identify yourself, who you are, but it's none of their business who I am. And it's a privacy thing.
That's not being transparent, though.
I don't have to be transparent. Y'all do.
Well,
Okay. All right.
I will check with my city attorney this evening when I see him and see what he says.
All right.
And my name is Brenda Dennis, so you can call me at 619-1000. I'll have an answer for you.
Okay. I think I pissed her off. She was kind of friendly at first, but then when I wouldn't identify myself, she wasn't happy with me. Since when do citizens have to be transparent to the government? I don't think so. All right, I did go back and find out more about this and get a conclusion from it. But other things started happening about that time, and I forgot all about updating you on this. The best I could find out is one person said that there had been a policy in place, but it hadn't been upheld, they just ignored it. And the other one said there never was. What I think really is that they had one and they just weren't upholding it. But according to them, they went back and looked for it and couldn't find one anymore, so it was probably gotten rid of a while back. Or after I said something about this. Who knows? It really doesn't matter, but according to both of them, you can go in and video open meetings. You don't have to ID. You don't have to have permission. They only ask that you don't block anybody's view, which is okay. I don't, stand over to the side, sit over to the side, whatever. That's fine. I wish I had the video of when I went back and asked to get a conclusion on it, but I found the card that it was on, which reminded me of this in the first place, and it was all corrupted. I think that was probably the only video on that card. It was a small memory card when I first started. I was getting whatever cheap stuff I could get. But anyway, that's the main point of this is she thinks transparency is for us. And why even say that? That is not our function. It's the government's function. The people we pay, our servants, it's their function to be transparent. And one of the reasons I went to this town in the first place, because I know this town well. I grew up real close to it, like the next town over. And they had a terrible police force. The Texas Rangers at the time, who were honorable, in my opinion, came in and shut the police department down. That police department was dealing drugs, was treating people terribly, arresting people illegally, playing around with records and finances, etc., etc. I never did get the full story back then, but it was shut down. And, the mayor fired the police chief, but the mayor wasn't any better. He was one of the biggest jerks in town, too. And oh my God, his son. Anyway, I digress. Get away from that. He's not important. And one of the reasons I went to this town is because I knew a few people then who have recently moved away that said the town was still kind of acting up the police department. But as far as I can tell, they've gotten much better, and he's the only person that told me that there were still problems. I knew there had been some problems a few years ago. They were treating the black community pretty bad. And there's not a big black community there. The population is more business population than a lot of homes. I think Ciboleau's got more homes than Schertz, who's the town next to it. But Schertz went into, they went all the way down the highway and got all the land all the way to New Braunfels on the side of the highway because they wanted businesses. And they knew it was going to come down the pike. So I think the fact that they cater toward businesses might be an indication there's a problem there. But like I said, I haven't really heard much. So anyway, that's your update. Sorry it took so long to get it to you guys, but heck, that's the way it goes sometimes, I guess. Appreciate y'all being here. We'll talk to y'all again next time. Be safe, everybody.